Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, August 10th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day. I've done a lot of it this week. We'll get into that. I have various social medias. I have show notes that you can look at that are on my blog. In addition to the social medias, I'm most active on Instagram. Please follow me over on there if you'd like. I also have random things like Goodreads that I update during the week. So if you're interested in things like I'm reading, things that I'm reading, yes, during the week, please go follow me over there. We can be friends. Have book recommendations. It'll be wonderful. We have a variety of things to talk about today, everyone. So without further ado, I will stop waffling and get into the actual episode because I don't really know where to start with this episode. But that's okay. That's life. Anyway, if you like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, an animal to snuggle, something to craft upon, laundry to fold, or you're working out, and you can come back and join me for some craft chat. I have iced coffee today. It is very good. It is very good indeed. So, everyone, this week, we have a very real week this week. I feel like we have post-workout hair that is still in its ponytail. We have a little curl that is happening back here that has fallen out. We have a lot of just a bare face. Not very much knitting to talk about. That's not to say that I didn't do knitting, because I did. What is my hair doing? I apologize. This piece keeps getting out from behind my ear and it's very distracting. What am I talking about? It's just one of those weeks. It's one of those days, you know, like I feel fine. I'm very like, let's get things done. But also it's just like, wow, I don't really have a whole lot to talk about this week. I do have things to talk about, but it's just like, I could do better. But we're not undermining my knitting this week because I have done insane amounts of knitting, but I can't show you, which is really rough. And I know that this was going to be an issue, that I would be working really hard on this one thing and I can't show it to you and I can't really like talk about it in detail, just in very vague terms, which is totally fine. It is so exciting, everyone. I cannot wait for this thing to come out, and it's just very exciting. But anyway, it is taken a lot of my knitting time, and I am so close to being done. Like, I can't even, the light at the end of the tunnel is literally within reaching distance. Like, if I really wanted to, I could knock it out this evening. I won't, because I think that would drive me a little crazy, but I'm not, so I won't do that. But I could. If I really wanted to, if for some reason I was just feeling mighty fine about myself and whatever, if we weren't waking up early tomorrow to work out, I might, but we are, so I'm not going to do that. It's one of the many reasons why I'm not going to do that. So, there's not as much knitting to talk about, but that doesn't mean that this is not a good podcast. It doesn't mean that I'm not a good knitter. It doesn't mean that I don't have good content, because I do. I know I do. This is me pep talking myself. This isn't really actual podcast content. I'm just pep talking myself, you know, as we do. And I'm just gonna leave this in because hashtag real life. You know? Also hashtag real life. busy but also not busy at the same time, so you have a lot of little baby things to do throughout the day and they all kind of like implode, and then you feel like you don't have enough time to do everything, but you really do, but it just seems like you don't because there's a lot of little things. Deep breaths. It'll be okay. It's just another Monday. It's just another Monday. So I have various things to talk about. I did come up with things to talk about, and this is good in a way because it is like, okay, it's time to be creative. What can we talk about that will be fun? And I don't really know how exactly I'm going to talk about these things, but that's okay. I just want to talk about them, and I thought it would be fun, and things that I want to share with you guys. So that is my reasoning behind sharing these things that are not necessarily knitting related. One of the main subjects is. Two of the main subjects, including regular stuff. What am I talking about? I'm getting very rambly. I got distracted and was looking at Instagram, and now I've requested information for another test knit. So I've gone 1 week without asking for information on test knit, so this is really good. Let's move forward, shall we? Let me talk about the two other test knits that I can show you. So this is living in my Toppy Fringe Supply Company field bag. Unfortunately, they are going out of business, and I don't think there are any of these bags available anymore, which is very sad, but I love mine dearly. They are perfect for holding pins. If you are a longtime viewer, you might be familiar with my Happy bag, which is my yellow one, and it is covered in pins. So this is the Mabry pullover by Rachel of September Knits. That's the back. This is the front. And I've divided for the sleeves, even though you can't really tell. But you can tell because you can see these scoobies. Okay, if we hold it this way, then we can see it a little bit better. There we go. Not really. I mean, it's a sweater. Very exciting. This is a top-down yoke colorwork sweater. You do increases as you go, and then you've got this very simple but very cool geometric colorwork design. I'm using Barocco Vintage DK for my main color in the Chana Dal colorway, and then for my contrasting colors I'm using Malabrigo Arroyo in the glitter colorway, and then Hedgehog Fiber Boucle, I don't remember the colorway name, held together to create this very beautiful soft rosy brown color with some bits of green in there, which I am loving. I love this color. It's very autumnal. It makes me very happy. Makes me wish it was cold outside and not insanely hot and insanely humid, because it is. But that's okay. We prep, you know. We, in the midst and the heat of the summer, we knit all of our cold weather things so then we can enjoy them when it is cold, and then we are very happy. I didn't move this up because the progress was clearly dividing for the sleeves, and that is very obvious, but now I need to move this up. This is a progress keeper as well as my stitch marker from Hand Stitch Life. This is little guy's on backwards, so he's not turning around properly. There we go. I did see, I talked about this last week, I did see that Jen is getting in her fall autumnal stitch marker progress keepers, and I'm very excited. I think she's like also doing, or she has like bronze copper color metal bits for her stitch markers and progress keepers, which is very exciting. But anyway, here's my little purple gummy bear, which I love so much because gummy bears are definitely up there with my top favorite candy. Purple's my favorite color. It's sparkly. It is literally the best thing ever. You cannot go wrong. It's all good things, really. I'm loving this. It is smooth sailing for this thing right now. The deadline is very far away, so it has not been the top priority. Dividing for the sleeves was really amazing. Once I got that done, it kind of went on the back burner a little bit because I have 2 other deadlines that are quite imperative that they be met. And they will be done. It is no big deal. I am fine. Because knitting math, I'm good at that. I can calculate when I need to get something done and what I need to do every day in order to get it done. But this is very far out, so it's very far out. It is so cool, you know. So funny. The deadline is very far away. That was not a funny joke. I do apologize. I always think of that when people say far out. I'm like, yeah, man, that's totally rad. Far out. Plus the finger guns, you know. Little glimpses inside of my thought process. Anyway, so this is really awesome. Just your basic top down yoke, divide for the sleeves, tootling along. I believe it's cropped. You can adjust the length to however long you want it. Same for the sleeves. I believe the sleeves are full length. I don't believe there's any color work around the sleeves or the cuffs of the sleeves, because I'm doing another one that there is, and so I get the 2 confused. But I don't believe there is. So this is really exciting. This is going very quickly, which is nice. So my reading, this is definitely a reading project now, which I'm very excited about. Oh my goodness, guys, like I can't even begin to tell and explain how much knitting time is going to be freed up once I finish the secret test knit, and once it is done, I can't show it to you. Which is very sad, but I'm very excited for when it comes out, whenever that will be in the future. And but anyway, I'm just really excited to free up all this knitting time. I feel like that it's reminding me of like when I just randomly remembered I have another story to tell about one of my other projects, so that's really awesome. This is reminding me of like in college and being done with like finishing your last final or whatever, or like not having to worry about it for your classes or whatever for a while, whether it be summer or Christmas break or whatever, and like being able to focus on other things and being like, yes, free time. I have loved really testing this, really loved testing this. This has been, I'm holding this test knit. I'm not talking about this test knit. Of course I love this one, but this other one that I cannot show you, it has been quite the experience, and yeah, but I'm very excited for when it's done. And it is so close. Like I can taste the finished object. Not literally, because that would be weird and gross. Be very fuzzy. But I have grand plans for when this thing is over. I really need to figure out a major reward for myself in regards to knitting and projects. And what do I cast on? All the things? I don't know. I really need to treat myself. But also, I have this other one that I literally just put my name in for. It's okay, you know, the deadline's pretty far away. Okay, we'll talk about that one in just a minute. And granted, I don't know if I'll actually get it, but this next one is brand new. And by brand new, I mean I've just recently cast it on this week. I had to wait for my yarn to come in because I got some Knit Picks palette, the tried and true trusty fingering weight that I do love. Color selection is incredible, yardage is good, price point is amazing, usually ships pretty quickly, Can't go wrong. So yeah, I had to wait for that, and I did have it last week. Like, I knew that I was going to be making it. I talked about it a little bit, but I couldn't obviously show it to you or show you anything because I hadn't started working on it. But oh my goodness, guys, I've made so much progress. This was a lot of knitting, but it also went incredibly fast. So dear everyone, if you are new to the podcast, I love Isabel Kramer. I love her patterns. I love her designs. I've test knit for her several times. I love working with her and Janine, who runs her testing groups, and I'm doing that again, and I love it so much. And this, everyone, is the Clapton pullover, and I love it so much. I'm like really channeling all the autumnal vibes right now because, goodness gracious, this is perfect lighting. Can we even? So this is what I have so far, and I'm actually almost done with the color work of the yoke. So it's a top down, the same thing like the Mabry. I'm really into that right now, and in fact I have another one potentially coming, which is very exciting. So yes, top down yoke, color work, long sleeves. There is color work around the hem right before the ribbing, and there's also color work right around the cuffs right before the ribbing as well. So that's very exciting. All this was stash minus the main color. I did have to get that, but that is Knit Picks palette in the Merlot Heather colorway. Please focus. There we go. And that is like this beautiful reddy brown color, and I can't even describe how beautiful it is. I was not worried, but like buying this on their website, this looks very red. On their website, it looks like it's just basically a black and a gray applied together with some red fuzz on it, and it was like, okay, you know what, I know I've seen this in person, I know it doesn't look like that, and I really would love this. I had another color scheme that I had in mind, not using this Merlot, not going in this brownie direction. I had thought about going in a more gray direction, but they were out of the main color that I wanted to use. So I'm really glad that I went with this though, because it is just so beautiful. It is so autumnal. It is so fall winter. It is giving me all the wintry vibes, and I need it to be cold now. And so I pulled contrasting colors that I wanted to potentially go with this, and then once I got this, I was able to narrow it down and kind of like see it all together, obviously, because I couldn't before, because the red picture online would not go with any of the other yarns that I was using. So this is my creamy color, and I am deeply sorry, but I have no idea what this is. I have had this in my stash for goodness knows how long, and I don't know what it is. It's very old, it's very taupey, it's very soft. I love it so much. And this has been in thousands of projects, no, not thousands, but pretty much any scrappy project I have done, this color has been in it, and I will be sad when this is gone because this has been a really trusty beigey, beautiful, like it's almost got some purpley brown undertones to it, which is really just gorgeous. So that's that. I'm sorry I don't have more information. I do have more information on this one though, because this is also stash. This is yarn from my spring court sweater that I test knit for Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarns, or Dragon Horde Designs, earlier this year. And so this is Life in the Long Grass. This is Space Ash, which is just stunning. I don't know how well it's showing up, but we do have these like pops of beautiful teal and then like dark navy. on this very like gray, green, olive-y base, and it's just so stunning. And so together we have created my perfect autumnal palette, everybody. Like, can we even, it is just so beautiful. I just can't even. This is my sugared donut from Little Bitty Delights, who I love. She is wonderful. And this donut, though I have never been to Rhinebeck, hopefully someday when the world calms down again, if Rhinebeck does happen again, whenever it does, I would love to go someday. And those apple cider donuts that are so famous, I would love to try one of those. And this donut reminds me of that. And so on this autumnal sweater, that would be a perfect Rhinebeck sweater with this perfect apple cider Rhinebeck donut. That's not exactly that, but it reminds me of it. And then this like coppery, beautiful purple stitch marker from Jen of Hand Stitched Life is just the perfect project. Oh, I love this. Could you tell? So yes, I'm currently working on the last, I almost poked my glasses with my knitting needles. That was quite terrifying. This last little bit is the last bit before I do some more like increases and short rows, and then I divide for the sleeves. And pretty much all of this I have done two-handed. Look at me go. And two-handed, like doing this. This is the technical motion for knitting two-handed. There are some parts where you have 3 colors connected, in which case I just like did whatever worked. There were some places where I just used one because I was tired and didn't really want to work my brain too hard. Didn't want to worry about the tension. And I realized that switching between the two would just mess up my tension more, but I think it's fine and it'll block out, so I'm not worried about it. But with this little section here with the 1x1 color, it's not a rib, but like I don't know if there's a technical term for that. Is it corrugated? I don't know what that means. Do I need to look that up? Am I a bad knitter for not knowing what that means? We're gonna look that up real quick. Okay, so I do know that corrugated ribbing is where you rib, but is it just corrugated knitting when it's not ribbing? Google, tell me. Yes. Oh man, look at me go. I was right. It is called corrugated, whatever. We just found the definition. We'll work on the pronunciation slowly. Yeah, so this is corrugated. Corrugated, I don't know. And doing this two-handed is literally, I don't know, it's just very soothing. And I know it's not my fastest way of knitting. It's not the best way that I knit. It's very, it's not clunky, but it slows me down. But there's something about it that is just very like, this is really incredible. This is amazing that I can do this with my 2 hands. And I love this so much. This is bringing me joy. It was a skill that I learned at the beginning of the year, the beginning of 2020. That is crazy. For another test knit, it was pretty amazing, and look at me now. I've done that at least once on every colorwork project that I've done this year, I feel like. And yeah, it's very soothing. It looks very complicated. It looks very overwhelming, and I can totally understand not wanting to do that. Because I was definitely in that boat. I had no interest in really doing that, but especially when you have this corrugated type pattern and having a 1x1 or a very close together pattern, it makes it so much easier if you can just use both hands. And so I would encourage you to figure that out, to learn how to do that, because it is so much fun. And then like when I do get in a rhythm, it's just like, oh my much. It's still really slow, but I still love it. And then my yarn gets snagged on my hand, and then I have to like readjust everything, and throws off my groove. You know, I'm sorry you've thrown off the Emperor's groove. There's that line from. Brownie points to whoever can guess where that line is from. Pretty straightforward. I feel like it would be very obvious, but so yes, this is the Clapton sweater pullover by Isabel Kramer that's coming out. This is living in my Loops bag, which is a wonderful yarn store in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which I am from Oklahoma. Fun fact if you are new to this podcast. And yeah, so that's my other test knit. The sock test knit is done. The test knitting portion. I still technically have to knit another sock. That is important. So I can have 2 socks to wear. But I haven't done that yet, and I really need to cast it on, and I'm very, very aware with the fact that I need to do that, otherwise I will not do it, and I know this because I know myself. So that really needs to be done. But that being said, let's talk about all the other sock options I have to make socks, you know, because that's really fun. The sock bug has bit pretty hard, which I'm not complaining for sure. It is pretty amazing. And there's been some sock patterns released. There was a bundle of patterns released by, hold on, I believe, yes, her Instagram handle is Summer Lee Knits, and she has Summer Lee Design Company. She released the shorty sock bundle just last week, I believe, and they are so cute. They are literally like everything. I want all the socks. I want to make all the socks. I want the socks that she made. I want the yarn that she used. I need all the pom-poms that she attached to these socks. It's literally the cutest. And here is one of her pictures that she posted for to promote her excuse me, sock bundle. And you get all these patterns, so you get a lot of patterns within this bundle. I believe, yeah, the patterns are available on Ravelry and on Etsy as well, which is very exciting. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. So that being said, I'm going to be making some socks, and I feel like looking at that, this just really screams socks. Screams socks like those socks for sure. Like maybe a blue pom-pom. I think like a teal blue pom-pom would be so cute. Or like an even hotter pink. Like this is pretty hot pink. But if I had an even brighter one. I also have this fun sock set that I've had for forever. This is Golding Yarns. And this was actually a Murderino Mystery Club, and it's called You're in a Cult. And if you are unfamiliar with My Favorite Murder podcast, that is a true crime podcast. And I haven't listened to it in a long time. I used to listen to it all the time, but I found some other true crime podcasts that I prefer. But I still love this yarn, and I'm still very much into the whole Murderino fan base, I should say. So yes, this is a 100 gram sock skein, and then a 20 gram mini, fingering weight 75, superwash merino 25 nylon. I like the speckles, and just the color splotches, if you will, are just so amazing, and the colors. Also, I think this black is incredible. I think it is insanely hard to get black correctly because it can do a bunch of different things in the dye pot. because science and powder dye and however that all works. I have not actually tried it myself, but I have heard from other people that black is very hard to dye. So the fact that this looks as black as it does is amazing. And plus it's very fun to just have a mini. It just opens up possibilities, and I just really like that. So this will be a fun thing to do for a more dark fall moody pair of socks. This is Sensible Sock from Savvy Skeins. This is the Thistle colorway, which is absolutely just stunning. And this base is so good for socks because it has so many plies to it. Just a basic rule of thumb, you don't really want to use a single strand or a single ply of yarn for socks, just because the wearing it doesn't work very well. It wears very quickly. So if you have any kind of plied yarn, the more plies the better. Granted, I mean, you can have any plies. A lot of these have two. Actually, two of those have two. The rest of them probably have like 3 or 4, and then this one has a bunch of plies, which is really awesome. A bunch of plies, I say that. I don't actually know that. Oh, I think there's still just 2, but the twist is really, really high. Wait, hold on. No, there are plies within plies. There's a lot of plies in here. I know my yarn anatomy? Yarn, what's the word? I can't remember the word. How it's built. The makeup of this yarn. There are a lot of plies. So this is really good for socks because it will wear very, very well. It's also very squishy and it's very stretchy. This is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. So this is very exciting. Go very well with any of those little shorty socks. Or since it's a more fall autumnal, I might do like a longer pair of socks, a higher pair of socks, I don't know. The cuff would be higher, the leg would be higher. The leg is the technical term. I then have some yarn that I won in a giveaway, which is very exciting. I have never knit with ritual dyes before, but I won this in a drawing in a test knit group that I was part of, which is really amazing. So I got sent this, and this is the Black Witch Moth set. And so we got this pink with this gray, which is really beautiful, and then the gray and the brown minis to go with it. 75-25 superwash merino nylon. Very exciting. Love this. The next skein of yarn that I have is actually the same base of yarn that I used for the sock test knit that I finished but still need to work on. This is the Donegal base from Blue Mule Fiber. This is the Cantina colorway, so it's very happy, it's very bright and springy, but also a little bit more on the orangey side, which is really fun. So I feel like this would be a fun like transition between summer and fall. That would be so cute for any of those socks with a pom-pom. Just really want to put pom-poms on my socks. And then this last one is very fun, and I have been saving it because it's just it's a very special skein. This is yarn from Slip Stitch. I got my test knit. Yay! Okay, so we'll talk about this in just a minute. Now that I have official confirmation. So this is from an indie dyer in the Peak District over in England. My mom brought this back for me from Slip Stitch in London, which is owned by a friend, Rosie. She does have a website. You can buy stuff from her website, and you should definitely go and see what she it also just published her own book, which is incredible. it looks so adorable, and I believe it's like a beginning to knit type book, and there's so many cute patterns. And if I didn't already know how to knit, like that would be the perfect way for me to learn how to knit. I feel like it's just such a fun looking book. Go check that out. But anyway, this is Peak District Yarns, hand dyed in Tideswell. Tideswell? Tideswell. Yes. Anyway, this is the little logo and the information, and this is the 32 flavors colorway, which says also includes August 19th. So I wonder if this is like a special colorway. But I love this. This is again very spring to, or why do I keep saying spring? Summer to fall colors, I feel like. And so I think this will be a very fun skein to knit socks with. It is a 4-ply, so we know that there's a lot of plies. We know that's good. 75 merino, 25% nylon. And I believe she has a website. They're also on Facebook. I think I already showed this to you, but my hand might have been covering it up. Peak Yarn District Yarns.co.uk. So go check out her yarns. I'm very excited for this. This is very soft as well. Like when you feel it, it feels like it might have a little bit of cashmere in it, but it doesn't. Very excited. I also love this section. It's just like purpley, rosy, lilac-y. Very excited about this. So this will also be an option. If I were to cast on socks right now, what would I pick? I think I might either pick this one or this one. I don't know. We are taking a trip in the upcoming weeks, and I think, though I should probably work on my other sock, I should cast on another pair of socks because I got multiple pairs of size 1 DPNs. For some reason, I've got a bazillion pairs of those sets. Like, it's not just individual DPNs that I've got a bazillion of. I have a lot of sets of size 1 DPNs, so I'm good. I'm covered. Might have to do that because I think that would be good travel knitting. Very exciting. So yeah, that is my sock endeavor. There are so many adorable sock patterns out there. My mom and I share a copy of the 52 Weeks of Socks, which was a publication by Lina. And I don't know if we'll do those right away. I would like to eventually because they are very fancy and they feel very elegant. But not that these others are not, but they're just way more patterned. And I feel like I need to stretch my sock making muscles before I jump right into a very heavily patterned sock. And so doing something like these little shorties is just so awesome. They are so short, obviously, because they are shorties. But I do know there are a lot of other really good, like, just vanilla sock patterns out there that are fun. Like Hermione's Everyday Sock, that's a solid sock right there. I know Christy of Yarn Cafe Creations also has a lot of really good sock patterns, and I believe they were at one point, or maybe still are, free, which is amazing. And they also have fun names that have to do with coffee, which I just really like. So that's very fun. And there's just so many others out there that I don't even know about because I have not been in the sock knitting world for a very long time. And this is very exciting. I'm still very, like, I'm not hesitant, but I'm not like jumping head first in, also because I have a lot of test knits that need to be done, which is understandable. It's fine, no big deal. Love the test knits, love the socks, just have to bide my time and take things slow, which I think is just making me love it even more. It's very exciting. So who knows what will happen. Maybe I'll cast on a sock. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I really need to finish that second sock. Once I do, I'll feel so much better. I really should. And then that can be my sock little project bag. Ooh, that's what I need to do. Okay. Encouragement for finishing that second sock. Don't wait to cast on that second sock. That second sock syndrome. Ah, it's real. Okay. So now that I have full confirmation that I do in fact have this test knit, which I love this process happened while I was recording. You know, you get to experience the full process. So this will be no surprise. This is another test knit for Annie of This Bird Knits. I love working with her so much. She has designed so many beautiful things, and I've test knit for her so much this year, and I love that so much. And she literally, like, I was scrolling Instagram earlier while I was recording. I was just taking a little break, and this picture popped up, and I was like, oh my, that is so cute. I have not seen that sweater before. It turns out it's a tester's call, and I was like, I'm on that. I need it so much. It is a worsted weight colorwork sweater, another yoke sweater. Surprise, surprise. I love those things so much. It's probably gonna be the thing that I knit the most of in 2020, really. But anyway, this is going to be called Sweater Weather, I believe, and it's worsted weight, and it's got kind of balloon puffed sleeves around the cuff, which I love, and it's also got kind of like a high-low hem. So this is what the picture she posted of the sweater, and I am so excited. It's just so beautiful, and like, can we even with these orange trees, and it's just so beautiful. I want it to be fall. I want it to be cold. Ugh. That being said, like, what is this, week 2 of August? Like, it'll be, like I said, it'll be Halloween, it'll be Thanksgiving before we know it. And I'll have all these worsted weight colorwork sweaters to enjoy. I'm gonna cast this on. Do I cast this on? Ooh, I know. No, I don't know. I should not use this as this test knit as a reward, because this is a test knit. I need to pick something else for the reward for the big secret one. I'll figure it out. But anyway, I'm going to be using Stash. I'm very excited to know exactly what I'm going to use. I'm so excited. Yes. This is the process of me getting test knits. I get really, really excited, and I have to go find my yarn, and I really want to go find my yarn now, but I have to finish this, so that's okay. You know, gotta be patient. So yeah, I need to play around with color ideas. I'm very excited. I guess I have several options of things I could use, which is very exciting. And I have the pattern now, and I just want to cast it on. But I have all these other test knits that need to be done, and this other one that's almost done, and then I want to make all these socks. What am I to do? There's just not enough time in the day, and then I also have to finish the laundry. And I have to make dinner. I don't really know what is required for dinner because I haven't looked at the recipe. Such is the life of being busy. But it's okay, because we got fun knitting to look forward to. So that's all the knitting that I have. That was a fun little addition there. Oh. So this non-knitting item I have obtained recently. This is very exciting. Okay, so long time planner fan. I love planning things. I love writing things down. I love washi tape. I love stickers. I love getting to use markers. I love decorating my planner. I love planning things out, basically. I'm just a planner person. I find it very soothing. I really enjoy it. I love that creative process. It's like a different form of creativity that I really enjoy, besides knitting or baking or whatever you like to do. And so I have been intensely in the planner community for a long time. And I say in the planner community, I like looking at pictures of other people's planners. I have followed those types of pictures and YouTube channels for a long time. was very much into the Passion Planner. I used the Passion Planner for a really, really long time and still fully 100% support the process of the Passion Planner and everything that it entails. But my other one, my most recent one, ran out of space during the lockdown. And instead of ordering a new one, I just started using a notebook, which was really fun because like that, they were just do whatever I wanted. And that was very fun and very creative, especially during the time of being at home. And so I got to experiment with some fun stuff, and that was very exciting. And so recently, because it's that time of year that you normally get planners because you're going back to school or you're not going back to school because now you may be doing school virtually or half and half, or I don't know, whatever you may be doing. But around this time was normally the time to get a new planner, which is very exciting. The favorite time. And new notebooks, new pencils, the best, new folders. And so my mom and I got happy planners. I'm very excited. And like, once again, still love Passion Planners. It's just so much fun to switch things up, and I have not had like a new type of planner in a very long time, and this brings me so much joy. So this is the one that we got. It says, "Welcome to the book club," and then a bunch of really fun books on it, and like, look at these fun little rings. I know none of the Happy Planner terminology. I feel very overwhelmed by the Happy Planner community in the best way possible, because there are just so many fun things that I want to do, and I want to do all of them, but I don't know what all the words mean. But I'm slowly getting there. I'm watching the YouTube videos and I'm following people on Instagram. So we got Happy Planners. I've used the Happy Planner stickers for forever. Like, I have packets of stickers from Happy Planner that I got in college. And because I didn't have a Happy Planner, I wasn't using them correctly, not using them necessarily as they were intended to, which is totally fine. But now I can do things like this, and it makes me happy. Literally the Happy Planner. I am a happy planner. I'm so funny. I am a happy planner while I'm using my Happy Planner. So funny. Anyway, really love this. This is the horizontal planner layout, whatever. Apparently they have different layouts, and there's the vertical and there's the horizontal and there's the dashboard, and then you get in the sizes, and there's the mini, there's the classic, there's the big, there's the skinny. Oh, there's so many words. There's so many different terminology things that I don't know about. And so this is the classic regular size, I think. I'm pretty sure it is. I love this size because it's not too big that you're like overwhelmed with the amount of space that you have, but it's big enough that you can like decorate it and have fun with it. Also, I like that you can take the pages out and put them back in. I think that's amazing. My mom also found a lot of expansion packs that are very fun. I think there's a fitness one that she found, which I'm very excited about, and then a home one, which I'm very excited about. That includes like meal planning and like grocery lists, and I just am so into that. So if you are in a planner slump and you like planning, if this does not stress you out, I know that sometimes planning can stress people out, which I can totally understand that. It is kind of overwhelming sometimes to look at a spread and be like, I have no idea what I want to do. This is very overwhelming. Check out the Happy Planner. Also, this, like, we ordered this on Thursday. It was here on Saturday, which was crazy. Didn't pay extra for the fancy shipping. That was not even an option that we had. And so I also love that you can change these out. I think that's very fun. I love the rainbow, but so yes, Happy Planners are quite happy They are wonderful if you are looking for a planner switch up, or you just want to try something new, or if you want to get into the planning world in general. I would highly suggest like just checking out your local Michaels or your Joann's or your Hobby Lobby, or even their website. I think they also have things on Amazon, but it's easier to find things at the other places. And plus, Michaels and Joann's and Hobby Lobby are always having sales, so you can't go wrong with that. You always have a coupon. There's always a coupon somewhere, because it's coupon. It's not coupon. It's coupon. I appreciated everybody's responses to that question, by the way. That was very entertaining, and I really just enjoyed reading all of those. So that was my little bit of addition. That was my additional bit of information, bit of fun thing to talk about that was not knitting related. I am going to figure out how to incorporate my knitting into this for sure, because since you can add pages really easily, there's really no limit to what you can put into this unless it gets like too big out for the rings, but you can add quite a lot. So I'm excited to figure out how to incorporate my knitting, how that would work. And because I think there's at least 1 or 2 blank pages in the back currently that came with that set. So I'm excited. Happy planner. Happy planning, happy planner. Very fun. Okay, so that I think is the end of this podcast. I do apologize if it's a little bit shorter. I can't see time-wise because the clips have been chopped up, but time-wise if this is a regular length episode or not. But either way, that's okay. You know, it happens. I do apologize though. I'm sorry, but it's okay. Life happens. But at least you got to see the process of me applying, sending in my name, or I guess that's applying, finding, applying, and then getting accepted for a test knit and getting excited about it, getting to see that whole process. That's pretty entertaining. Test knits out the wazoo, which I love. And sock knitting, which is very exciting. Planning the knitting, planners, happy planning, all that jazz. It's been quite the episode, I feel like, you know. Indeed it has. So, with that, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for spending time with me, taking time out of your day to listen to me ramble, listening to me waffle around things that I don't really know what I'm saying until I figure out what I'm trying to say, and then I say it in a weird way that is hopefully entertaining. Talking about yarn and knitting and just sharing the love of knitting and creativity, because that is one of the small joys that I find in the everyday life. Being able to be creative. I feel like for me, we're gonna get deep here for a little bit. For me, it's very similar to like going out and moving your body, or like exercising or doing yoga or making sure you drink enough water. Doing that every day is very good for your mental health and just kind of staying okay during this crazy time of a pandemic. And for me, I think those things are amazing. And in addition to that, being creative or trying to be creative at least a little bit throughout the day, at least one time, is huge for me, because that just helps me not get into a creative slump. It helps me not stay stuck. It helps me just kind of like be reminded and enjoy something that I love. And so that's one of the reasons why planning and planners is such a huge part of like my weekly experience of life, because that's the great way to phrase that. Or just planning in general, planning meals, whatever. Knitting obviously is huge. Being creative, you can be creative in so many different ways. And so if you can incorporate just a little bit into your day, I feel like in my experience, this may not be true for everybody, but for me, that is just a huge part of taking care of myself and just, I don't know, taking care of myself. That's just part of like exercising, drinking enough water, making sure I have like a cup of coffee in the morning or whatever, so because that makes me feel good, eating good food, making the bed, being productive, all that kind of stuff. Trying to be productive. I'm not always productive, and that's okay. You know, it happens. And in those moments I try and be creative, because being creative is awesome. Anyway, we're talking in circles now. Being creative, I hope that is something that you enjoy, and I hope that I can help spread the creativity and love of creativity in any way, because that is something I feel very strongly about, if you couldn't tell. Show notes, social media, all that stuff will be on my blog and down below. If you have had, I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. I have a lot of crafty plans, clearly. Normally I would share my I feel like I used to shave, what am I trying to say? In the past, I have tried to save my crafty plans for this little segment where I say this, but I feel like in a lot of the most recent episodes I have just talked about what I want to do in the actual episode, and then when it comes to this, it's like, well, I've already told you all my crafty plans, so recap. I need to finish my secret test now. I'm so close. Make progress on my 2 other colorwork yoke sweaters. Divide for the sleeves and all that jazz. Work on a sock. Cast on that other sock that I have for Lindsay. And then maybe cast on another pair of socks. I don't know. And then this brand new test net that I'm so excited about. So much fun. Very excited. So that is all that I really have. Can't think of anything else to say besides try and be creative a little bit every day. Brings a lot of joy to the soul, and that is always good. Anyway, happy knitting, happy everything, whatever. Happy knitting, stay safe, stay home as much as you can, wash your hands, wear a mask, educate yourself, donate if you can. All the good, important things in life need to be done and need to continue to be done. Please wear a mask and wash your hands. Please. Anyway, mainly happy knitting, but all the other things as well. But we're gonna end with happy knitting because that's what this podcast is. It's a knitting podcast. And books and baking and cats. Is a planner a book? We count that as a book? I don't know, these questions that we ask ourselves at the literally very end of the podcast. Anyway, that is all that I have. I will stop rambling on. And I'll see you guys next week for more rambles and more test knitting. Bye.